Okay, people, right? So last week we got round to Spidey. This week finally got round to the last James Bond, No Time to Die. Now there's stuff that you can't avoid hearing, right? So I knew the big thing that was going to happen at the end, but it was just like, how's this going to happen? And loads of people told me, yo, this is great. So, I figured, yeah, let's do it. Let's get round to it. Okay. So, this new one, right, it is directed by Cary Joji Fukun, Fukunaga. Hmm. I I yeah, I didn't pronounce that very well, did I? But I don't know how to pronounce Homeboy's name. That's as good as you're gonna get. You know what I mean? He directed it. He also came up with the story along with Neal Purvis and Robert Wade. They wrote the screenplay. And then a bit later on, they brought in Phoebe Waller-Bridge to I feel she like the initial thing for her coming in was to touch up the female roles, right? To ensure the female voices were strong. And I think she also had a little dusty dust of the screenplay. So she gets writing credits. The film is produced by. It is produced by Michael G. Wilson, co-produced by David Pope, Andrew Nukes, Daniel Craig. Oh, and Barbara Broccoli. She also produces it, obviously, right? It is executive produced by Chris Brigham, John Goodmundson. We've got some associate production from Greg Wilson. Do do do. Pierre Henry Bosch, line producers, and along with Enzo Sisti and Natalie Thompson. Okay. Music. It's your boy Hans Zimmer. We've got Linus Sandgreen as the cinematographer. It is edited by Tom Cross and Elliot Graham. Casting is Debbie and Jemima. Jemima. Yeah. Yeah, I feel that's, yeah, Jemima. Jemima. Right? Debbie and Jemima McWilliams. So I imagine they're related. Production design is Mark Tildesley. Um, yeah, costumes Surat and Lalab, right? And our cast. Our cast. Well, Daniel Craig is back. You know what I mean? Old Craigie boy is back for his last run at James Bond. We've got um Ralph Fiennes, Rafe, one of the two. He's back as M. Ben Whishaw is back as Q. So is Naomi Harris as Moneypenny. We got Rory Kinner as Tanner. Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leiter. Um, we also have Christopher Waltz as Blofeld. Mm-hmm. Yep. Then we have some new additions, right? Leah Seydoux is Madeline. Um, Lashana Lynch is Nomi. We have got Mathilde, played by Lisa Dora Sonnet. That is Madeline's daughter. We have got, who else do we have? Billy Magnuson plays Logan Ash, a compadre of Felix. And there's Rami Malek as Lysifer Safin. Lysifer Safin? I think that's how you, I feel that's how you say his name. I might be wrong. You know what I mean? I think that's how you do it. Da-da-dum-dum. Ana de Armas is Paloma, another compadre of Felix's. Dali Ben Salah is Primo, aka Cyclops, right? Da-dum. Mathilde Bonbin plays Madeline's mother at the beginning, and Colleen Defood plays the younger Madeline that we see. Yeah, they're pretty much our main crew, you know. There's other people's, obviously, but yeah, they're our main ones that I think. Yeah, I believe so. I mean, yeah, no, they're the mains. So yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, I'm just double checking because boy, you can never be too what is the word? There's a word, but you can never be too of it. You know what I mean? Now, the gist of the story: Bond has left active service and is enjoying a tranquil life in Jamaica. His peace is short lived when his old friend Felix Leiter from the CIA turns up asking for help. The mission is to rescue a kidnapped scientist. Turn the mission to rescue a kidnapped scientist turns out to be far more treacherous than expected, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with dangerous new technology. I mean, right? When the mission is proposed, it already sounded dicey. So that sentence, like the mission turned out to be more like the mission was already fuckeries, right? It's a fuckeries mission. It's a stupid thing to say. God damn it. I hate these fucking they're just so dumb. So dumb. Right? But anyway, this is the 25th. That's right, people. It's the 25th iteration of our James Bond character. So we start off, right? We start off with the whole Madeline, her mum's, that whole situation, right? Which is, it's fine, right? Then, like, as soon as you know what I mean, we get greeted with something like that, you know something's gonna go down, right? You know it's gonna go down. Now, you do wonder, right? Because I kind of feel it doesn't make any sense, right? Just what happens doesn't necessarily make any sense. Firstly, living where they live, Madeline would know the dangers of doing the thing she does, right? There's that. Secondly, you would not shoot directly at some like it, that. You're kind of like, how's a bullet not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot to the side of, right? That makes more sense. Shoot to the side of, break, pull. Simple. Not at the fucking person, right? It was just like, yo, what's going down? Now I understand bullets in film, they seem to have no logic, right? Someone could be standing, no shelter, there are people shooting at them, and they don't get hit, right? So we know Hollywood bullets have some crazy physics to them, but that kind of bit the biscuit. Bit the biscuit? That's not a thing. But you know what should go there. So insert, boom, we're done. Now, we then do that thing. I hate the thing, right? 10 years later. Well, I mean, yeah, because we do the time. Well, there's two time jumps, right? Because we have this. Then from that, we go to Bond, right? We have Bond and the older Madeline now, and they're kicking it. They're on holiday, but right. So they're married, and they're having these conversations that don't necessarily make any sense, right? The conversations kind of feel like, yo, this is what you would be having in those early stages of a connection. They're not things that are being asked after you get married. Now, I say that. Now, yes, they could do, but you're some sort of fucking dum-dum if you've left all that shit until then. What are you doing? Come on, man. Come on. Right? Right. But we have all of this. And it was just right. It's just the nature of that. So again, you know something's gonna happen, right? And it does. And then all hell breaks loose, right? Which is one of those things, but it's like you wonder, right? What is happening? Because Bond, he's been working for the service for all these years. You know what I mean? Like, where are the contingencies? Where is the whole, all right, this is what happens in this is what happens in this, right? Because there's already these references like, oh, you keep on looking over your shoulder. He's like, oh, I'm not, you know what I mean? But like, yo, but you are. So you understand the dangers, but you don't kind of have things in place. It seems a little odd. You feel me? But yeah, so all of this, and then we get another jump in time, right? And now we got Bond in Jamaica, right? So it's like Bond in Jamaica is an odd one because you kind of get the feel he's meant to be like he's keeping low. The digs he's got, that's not the digs of someone keeping low, right? It's just like what the fuck are we doing here? What's going on? But yeah, so this is when he gets pulled into this whole big thing, right? This whole big thing. And we meet the new Bond. Well, I mean, the new Double O, right? We meet all of that. And like the way it was kind of sold that like this was that it was one of those things that it just seemed like it's there to create a friction, but it's a friction that doesn't need to be there, right? And a friction that doesn't really play much into the film, right? We have some nonsense, like they're both shooting at each other, which you're just like, why would they shoot at each other? You know what I mean? Because essentially they're both at the same agency, even though Bond at this time is inactive and all of that, right? So it makes no sense. That makes no sense to me anyway. I'm just like, yo, what? But yeah, so this happens, and we just see all of these things happen. But it's like, again, we have these situations take place, on Felix's point, on James's point, and you're just like, hold on, you are both seasoned operators. How the fuck does this shit go? Like, you're not checking? You know what I mean? Like, it seemed a bit reckless, frivolous, their actions. That was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. We got Anna de Armas. She's in the film. Again, there's this big thing. Oh, yeah. Like, I understand, right? So, you know me, motherfuckers. I'm all about diversity, breaking down barriers, making stories that pop. And like, this is sold. I mean, like, look at all these strong female characters. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't see the point of Paloma. Right? Like, if you remove Paloma from this story, it's essentially still the same story. You know what I mean? She's in it for a minute, and there's these weird lies like, oh, I've only been training for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Which are just like, obviously not. But it was just, yeah, it's all a bit odd. That whole sequence is a little bit odd. The biggest part of it was seeing Heraclean. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just watched this motherfucking thing and I can't remember the name of the fucking thing. But yeah, it was just kind of to show that, right? Which is like, yeah, that's fine. But it didn't need to be as long, because this is it's nearly 3 hours, right? It's nearly 3 hours, and it does feel long, right? It does feel long, people. But yeah, there's all of these things in here that you just like, did we need that? Like, what are we doing here? You know, like the situation at Q's house. I don't know. I don't know why it's there. Right? Just for us to find out that, oh, Q's got a boyfriend. Right? Was that really just the reason for that? They say fuck around on computers, but it's all shit that could have been done like that real quick. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It felt flabby. The film felt flabby. And yeah, we have all of these things go down, but I wasn't sure on the logic, right? I wasn't sure because so much of it's random, right? Look, I kind of feel when you tell someone you hide here, I'll be back, means obviously the bad guy's gonna find them, right? Then always happens, right? Always happens. when have we seen that shit? And it doesn't. We have people getting into fights, and again, these are seasoned motherfuckers. So it's probably best not to leave this hench person alive, right? And also, if someone's eye falls out, right, and you see it's some sort of mechanical pit, you're gonna stamp on it. You're gonna stamp on. They're the bad guy. All right. If you're not going to kill them, which again, I don't know why you wouldn't. Right? It's not like Bond is like, oh, I'm a pacifist. No, Bond kills. That's why you like Bond, because it's not playing those pussy ass games. He's gonna kill a motherfucker who gets in his way, right? So right? The fact that you don't kill my man, you're just like, huh? But you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna stomp in the eye. I'm gonna put him out of commission for a bit, or at least make it difficult for him, right? You break the eye. So there's all of that. But yeah, we have these things. And again, right? If you're saving a kid at the beginning, like just this whole then thing, right? This whole, if you save someone's life, you own them. I mean, not really. You know what I'm saying? Not really. You could say they might be indebted to you. They might owe you a favor. All right, but it was, I think I've said this before, right? You know, in these situations where someone's like, "Oh, you have to do this thing for me, so go do it," and you're just like, "Okay," but they could tell someone, right? Is it like, it's not like these aren't professionals? So if you go, "Hey, listen, someone approached me, they've kind of forced me to do a thing. I feel they might have, eyes in the thing, so you can't act like but this is what's gonna, this is what they asked me to do," right? You just think that could happen. That could happen. Just Bond's whole reaction with Blofeld is just like, I'm not buying. There was no reason for it, right? But you knew obviously it's going to happen because when he grabs the wrist, so you knew that there was going to be some point where he has to do a thing, right? But don't really make any sense. And then the frosting of the ice between Nomi and James kind of comes out of nowhere, which then, as I said before, it makes that whole thing like, what was the point, right? Yeah, I mean, have them have this weird beef and then no beef. It's just like, well, why did you even bother? You know what I mean? Why you even bother? But like, there's so much that we then get to, our last third of the film. The motives of Satin still not really clear. I've watched the film. I still don't really get why he's doing what he's doing. Right? You can understand in part the whole, I want to get revenge on this person, but then all the other stuff is like, why? You know what I mean? You get revenge. Why you then do the next? Right? Yeah. Seems odd. That seems odd. And you might think a little heartless, but that whole end was stupid. I didn't like the end. I didn't like the end because it's like, you're not dying. You know, like, here's the thing, right? It was just like, oh, you can't touch two people. You can't touch two people. I mean, hey, you haven't seen these people, right, in years. And, like, it didn't seem like it was affecting you. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh, every day I thought of you. I don't buy it, you son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that, but it's just like, yo, all right, you can't touch these two people. And you can still live your fucking life, fool. You can still talk to them through plexiglass. You know what I'm saying? Wear gloves, right? There didn't seem a reason. Now, I'd read, oh, yeah, it's such a powerful moment. And, you know what I mean? Having to make this choice. And no, there was no choice that had to be made. It's a non-situation, right? It's a non-fucking situation. He was ready to try and press Nomi. Remember that part in the film? So it's not like, oh, I'm so in love with this person, I can't touch anyone. No, you showed that you could have, right? In Paloma, he was ready to press that. So it's like, yeah. You know, like, look, if you have him heartbroken throughout, and he'd be like, I can't look at another woman. I don't know what to do with the world. And Felix is like, yo, snap out of it, man. If you want to die, come on this mission because it's a crazy ass thing. He'd be like, all right, I'll do that. But we don't, that's not what we get. So yeah, this weird fucking decision at the end, it was foolish. It was some foolish shit that didn't make any sense. And yeah, I just hated that part where it's go, I'm gonna tell you a story, right? And then you get the little smile and be like, fuck off. I was like, crash the car. Crash the car. Fuck you. Don't know why. I realize that's not rational. I realize that. You know what I mean? So don't judge. I mean, you can judge. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, it just irritated me. I'm just like, why is she smiling? Like, she didn't even know this motherfucker was. You know what I mean? Also, when little kids are scared, you know what I mean? They usually wet themselves and shit. I'm just like, she would have wet herself. She would have wet herself. There's a lot of panic that would be had, which just ain't there, right? Which then makes you go, was the situation really that bad? Was it really that bad? You know what I mean? But yeah, like it's not a shit film. Right? As a mindless action film, it's fine. It's fine. But with all the talk about this, right, and powerful moments and female empowerment, it just seemed to fall flat on all fronts for me. You know what I mean? Because as I said, look, I'm not against all these female roles. I said as the film was coming out, boom, don't make Lynch 007, right? Make her another 00. Then you've got this character prime for spin-offs because she's kicking ass, she's doing her thing. Cool, right? Moneypenny's badass. Like these characters, cool. Like Paloma isn't a bad character. It's just it was a waste in the film, right? It was a throwaway with little depth, but you kind of think, oh, you could make something out of her. Like we've already seen with the 355 that, you know what I mean? Women can leave an action film. I mean, we seen it long before that, right? But the 355 showed this great espionage film with these female agents, and that was cool, right? But yeah, this Bond didn't really hit me like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's because of the hype, right? Maybe it's the hype that just left it feeling a little meh for me. Maybe it's that. But it's now on Prime, people, so you can go get your feel on the last Daniel Craig James Bond. You know what I mean? And yeah, maybe you dig it. You know, it's your prerogative, right? But yeah, they're my thoughts, baby. It's my thoughts.